They say every ink blot reveals a hidden truth. But his? They became a doorway to obsession. I'm Dr. Aria Bloom, and I fear I'll be his next victim. I never imagined how deep his obsession would go. But here I am. I picked up extra shifts to earn additional money in today's economy. But with every extra hour, I feel the pull of something more, a question I can't unask. Something in his file keeps calling me back to these cards. I spent day and night studying the cards he brought me. But today, those cards stopped feeling like tests and started feeling like confessions he was forcing me to read. He entered like any other day, confident, composed, but something in his gaze stopped time. I forced myself to speak of progress and goals, though every word felt hollow against the echo of his silent stare. The next day I worked a late shift, and by 8 p.m. he already knew I'd be here.
Evening, Dr. Bloom.
Mr. Bahunin, you know this is a formal session.
I know.
The next day, Ethan arrived with something intriguing and asked me to dim the lights. So I dimmed the lights, curious to see what he had in store. When Ethan flipped that blot and the glow spilled across the room, I froze, stunned, terrified, and oddly drawn in. As a therapist, I'm trained to stay in the realm of ink on paper, not living light. If anyone saw me reacting like this, they'd think I'd lost my mind. Yet in that moment, I saw it too. Weeks went by, and Ethan and I have been meeting here most nights. Tonight, he sat in my office and spoke more freely. I suppose he's finally getting comfortable. But his silent stare, despite my therapist's composure, still unsettles me. Take a deep breath, Ethan. What do you see when you look at this image?
A door with no exit.
He spoke of doors and shadows, illusions that seeped from his mind into the ink. So tell me, what makes you feel trapped, Ethan?
It's the ink. I see things in it I can't escape.
His words grew darker with every session, but the ink told its own story.
It's changing every time I look at it.
I can help you, but I need you to tell me everything, Ethan. I felt my nerves fray with every word he spoke.
Here is another one, of you.
He spoke in cryptic messages through the Inkblots, and I was left wondering what I had to do with any of it. I'm here simply to help. I took my notes and did my best to remain as professional as possible. There are so many Inkblots featuring me in his mind. Should I stop helping him or dig deeper?
I see you, Doctor. I see everything.
I only know him from our sessions. Why do I keep appearing in these patterns? We spoke for a while longer, but as it grew late, and since he was paying by the hour, I had to end our session. He seemed a little upset, but I was determined to get to the bottom of this. Even if it meant crossing lines I'd sworn I'd never cross. I know I shouldn't follow him. It's against every rule I live by, but I need to understand. I shouldn't be here. Every fiber of my training screams to turn around, maintain boundaries, protect the patient, uphold the code. And yet, I crossed that line the moment I went to his home. The room is suffocating, peeling wallpaper, a single lamp casting jaundiced light across dozens of inkblot photos of me, strung together like a grotesque confession. I left, I rode in the cab contemplating, why me? I told myself I needed rest, just tea and sleep, yet my thoughts kept returning to him. I lay in bed, desperate for sleep, but the idea that someone could see me like this was terrifying. Now, I'm not even sure I want to help him anymore. I closed my eye, hoping for peace. I woke from Ethan's hellish nightmare, gasping for air. But even in the pale dawn light, I couldn't shake the fear and the questions. I returned to work shaken and afraid, and yet something in me burned to understand why he'd dragged me into that dream. With every session, I felt myself drawn deeper into his obsession, and I didn't know if I'd ever find my way back. Every session I asked myself, is this still therapy or something darker? There were moments I thought he was improving. Then I'd find another inkblot scrawled with twisted shapes that looked like me. I considered referring him, cutting ties, but what if he crashed without me? My own training said maintain boundaries, yet I felt them slipping. I printed the paperwork twice and then crumpled it both times. It was like he was testing me, seeing if I would run, but I couldn't let him see my fear. And yet, some part of me knew I had to stay. I owed him that much. I went home to relax, but I'd slipped his journal into my bag when I left his apartment that night. I poured myself a cup of tea and opened it, desperate to know what he was thinking, even if it crossed every boundary. My God, Ethan! Night had fallen hours ago, but I felt the darkness closing in, like ink spilling across the room. Every nerve in my body screamed that I was alone, until I sensed him behind me. He'd planned this moment all along, every session a step toward this.
We're bound now, Doctor. No more barriers.